football fan. It's time to Run with Emmitt, a real-life running back from the National Football League and the Pcff. This is your chance to ask questions to a running back and get him to answer those questions for you. And I hear that Dallas music in background, and I excited about that. Well, without further any ado, let's go ahead and get to this week's questions sent by you, the listener and the football fan of the Football League. I got lots of questions via text message this week. I want to talk about first, if I could, if you don't mind, the listener of Running with me, Emmitt Smith. Envious from Miami, and I like that name, Envious. Very cool name. He want to ask Emmitt what the best gift he ever received while at the U. Envious, I think you mistaken. Emmitt went to Florida. Emmitt was a Gator. I played for Steve Spurrier in the run, fun, and gun and shoot offense. Now, don't get me wrong. I've partied in Miami. They call it the city that never sleep. And let's just say Emmitt didn't do a lot of sleeping in Miami, in Pittsburgh, or in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I kidding. You might think I'm Michael Irvin if I talk like that to you. But on the real tip, as far as gifts go, I really didn't get much gifts at Florida, but my mama did get $45,000 and a house. Thank you, Envious. Okay, next question. Nimble, I like that. Quick and Nimble from San Francisco. He would like to ask me, do I think Chaz Bono has a chance of winning Dancing with the Stars? First off, thank you for the questions. You know, if Emmitt was in, he'd win. Emmitt can run and dance and do other things as well outside of football and dancing. I don't really know much about Chaz Bono. I do remember his dad, Steve Bono. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs back in the 90s and early 90s. Nimble, I like your question. Emmitt just can't answer all. So as the big fish used to say, Bill Parcells, next. Willie from Washington want to know what I thought of Deion Primetime Sanders' Hall of Fame speech. Well, I got 2 words for you. Tears. I cried like a baby, Willie. I cried when Shannon Sharp talked about his grandmama. I cried when Marshall Faulk fake cried. And I cried when Deion was preaching because, brother, that's what he was doing. He was preaching like it won't Saturday night in Columbus, Ohio at the Hall of Fame. It was Sunday morning in the church in Gainesville back in 1987 for me. I thought Deion Primetime Sanders was probably one of the top 5 defensive backs in the 90s and probably maybe of all time if you look at me. And if you ask me, I think he was one of the top 27 wide receiver of his generation and Emmitt Smith's generation. To hear him talk about his mama made me think of my mama, and I love my mama more than anybody ever in any football league in the whole world has ever loved their mama. My heart goes out to 21, Deion Primetime Sanders. He also wore number 37. Emmitt, you know Emmitt likes number 22, though. Thank you for the question, Willie. All right, I like this name. Fantasy Guru is his name. He is from the East Coast. Hey, East Coast. I love the East Coast. I have been there a few times in Emmitt life. He want to know if me, Emmitt, has ever gone to a restaurant and taken part in fantasy drafts. Well, Guru, or Mr. Guru, I might should call you. You know, Emmitt don't do fantasy football. Emmitt's a real player. Emmitt fantasies more involved like 2 women at one time, Troy Aikman in cleats and shoulder pads only. And a biggest fantasy of mine is reading a whole book, reading every single page, front to cover back. As far as football go, just give me that hog skin and let me run through the line with big Eric Williams running in front of me. I don't have time for fantasy football. Emmitt busy, Emmitt on the radio, Emmitt on TV, Emmitt in magazines. However, I love fantasy football when it comes to Pcff. Thank you for the question, Guru. Now to Sexy Sam. Sexy Sam. Love the name. He's in Smithfield. Hey, that's my last name. I wonder if there's a Smith in Smithfield. I wonder if my cousins and uncles live in Smithfield. Regardless as it may, he would like to know if I think there was any sexy picks in the PCFF draft. Now, you know Emmitt a married man. I don't know why you asked me this question, but Tom Brady's sexy. We can all look in the mirror, look at ourselves, and say, I wish I looked like Tom Brady. Could you imagine Emmitt with Tom Brady hair? I'd be picking up all the ladies, even though I already did that when I played for Dallas Cowboy. But I just saying, he a sexy man. Who else sexy? I say it. There's a free agent out there, Mark Sanchez. Anybody read GQ? Emmitt do. You want a splash, a sexy splash at that, pick up Sanchizer. He the man when it come to sexy at quarterback. Finally, let's go to the message board. Ricky in Grimesland had a question for me, and he said, I heard you played some running back in high school. Do you think you would have had the smarts to play QB in the PCFF? Well, Ricky, Emmitt did play some running back in high school and in college and in the NFL and in the Hall of Fame. So let's get that out the gate first, Ricky. Do I have the smarts to play quarterback in the PCFF? That is the question. Can I say hut? Well, I just did. Can I say hike? Done did that too. Can I throw a football? You see me play? You think I can throw a football? Man, when it come to football, Emmitt play everywhere. Emmitt play D-tackle. Emmitt play O-line. Emmitt play free safety. Don't matter. Anywhere I can play on the field. You see how many teams the Cowboys debacled back in the 1980s and the 90s thanks to Emmitt Smith? Okay, question answered, question asked, no more questions. That's all for me today, and that does it for the PCFF podcast. I want to thank my main man, Cliff Brock. He set this whole thing up for Emmitt, and Emmitt really appreciates. I'll be back next time. You can catch me on the PCFF message board, Runnin With Emmitt, and we will do this all again. Hey, everybody have a great weekend. Good night. God bless.